Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our new channel called Realdealfam. It's a brand new channel we just started. We're happy to have you guys come in and review the channel with us. First thing we like to do is introduce ourselves. I'm Andre. This is my wife, Essie.
How you doing?
How's everybody doing out there? Definitely, we would like for you to subscribe. But back to the topic. First thing we want to do is give you guys kind of a synopsis of who we are. We have 4 beautiful kids, all boys, no girls, unfortunately. Ranging from different ages, starting from 16 all the way down to 4 years old. There's anything you want to elaborate on that, honey?
Yeah. I'm the boss. I run the ship.
That's very true. That's very true. Now, first thing I want to do is give you an idea how I met the boss. We met back in college.
What college?
The college is Florida State University.
Go Noles!
It was back in the early 2000s. And she was working at the bookstore. And,
Early 2000s. Do you remember the year?
Yeah, I remember the year.
What?
It was 2001. That's early 2000s.
He remembers.
All right. Yeah. But she was working in the bookstore, and she was greeting the customers as they walked in. And fortunately for me, that particular day I was walking in, I had needed a particular folder for a particular class. And
He was scoping.
And no, I wasn't. No, I wasn't. But I just happened to see her as I was walking in. She seemed very nice. And
Little did he know.
when I looked at her, she smiled back at me. So it was, I kind of felt pretty good about that. But I went in, proceeded to shop, got my books, got everything I needed. The whole,
Yeah.
what's
You
that?
see somebody you like, and you beeline for the books. You don't even like, hey. I'm talking about he shopped for like 30, 40 minutes. I almost got off the clock.
Well, not only was I shopping, I had to build up the nerve, you know what I mean? And I saw the young lady, I thought she was very nice, very interesting, but I had to build up the nerve, so while I was shopping, I also was thinking about, man, how am I going to approach her and perhaps ask her for a phone number and see if we could perhaps go on a date or anything.
And I was like, what's up with this dude? We made eye contact. What happened?
But yeah, as I got ready to check out, I kind of had to hesitate because they had a lot of different options there. A lot of different lines open,
Oh,
and she was
options. I'm like,
not that type of options. But when I saw her particular line, there was somebody in there, so I had to kind of fall back a little bit and wait on it to kind of ease up. Then I went in, and she rung me up. She
girl, paid for his stuff. Didn't say a word and left
Well, I didn't.
out the store.
Before I left, I just told her, I said, I'll be back. Yeah, so I don't know if she knew what that meant.
Who
but
said
I just...
I'll be back and leaves after smile? Make eye contact like, hey, come over. Shop 40 minutes and checks out and leaves. I was like, well,
Well, it's been many years later, so we've been together a
How many
long
years? How many
time.
years?
Almost 20 years. So it was 2001. This is 2020. So I would say 19 years. But anyway, I left out. Went over to a smoothie shop, got myself together, and came back. And fortunately, she was still there. She hadn't
Just
got off
about
from
to
work. And I asked her for a phone number, and she agreed. Gave me a phone number, and I was very happy at that point.
Then call for a week.
Well, it take time. When you're in college, everybody got options.
I
So
should have thought this man was weird.
no, I ain't want the pressure. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, all the fellas, we sometimes we like to be cool, so I ain't put no pressure on. I just waited and called her in about a week. The conversation went very well. After we got through talking, we introduced each other to one another and got more comfortable with the conversation, and decided that we would like to go out. And I didn't have any place in specific at the time, but we agreed we was gonna go out somewhere on the following Saturday. You remember that, honey?
You asked your auntie what to take. That's what you told me.
Yeah, I did. My aunt,
advice.
yeah, my aunt lived there in the city, so
Need some help.
I told her I met a very nice looking young lady, and you know, I'm not that familiar with Tallahassee. I wasn't from Tallahassee, so she told me, oh, it'd be pretty nice. Probably take her to like putt golf, and then you know some stuff like that, and probably go out to eat and some things like that. And so I was like, I asked her did she want to go. She said yeah, so it was all set. But it gets a little bit tricky from that point, because the day I went to pick her up, the Saturday before we got ready to go to the date,
I'm all excited, dressed up, with my poom poom pants on, my little tank top, my wedges, ready to go. I come downstairs and my roommate at the time was like, "Oh, where you going, girl?" "Oh, I got a little date." "Oh, who is it? Who?" "Oh, I know him."
Yeah, I did know her roommate. So when I pulled up, what was it was kind of funny though when I pulled up.
She pulled his phone up, but oh yeah, this him right here.
I mean, in college, everybody knew everybody.
Nah, that's a no. You don't do that. No. He almost got clipped.
Fortunately, we had never had any kind of conversations on the phone, anything like that. We just met one time, and that was that.
She was hot.
But when I went
she was mad.
When I went
still went on a date.
Yes. When I went to pick her up, a roommate was outside at the apartment.
Yeah, she came outside and went out there first just to make sure it was him.
Yeah, I thought that she was out there working on her car.
You should have saw his face. He was so scared.
But she told me, she was like, "Oh yeah, the girl you supposed to be taking out, that's my roommate." I was like, "What?" So
I almost got the clip.
She was like, "She'll be out in a minute." So I waited outside. She came out looking stunning as usual. And from that point on, we went out. We went to putt golf and had a great time. Of course, she beat me because her stepfather played golf religiously all the time, and so
he wasn't really trying to play. He was trying to check it out.
Yeah, I wasn't really into all that, but but it was fun. You know what I'm saying? So we did that. Then we went out and went to dinner at Red Lobster. And
you know Red Lobster. When you're a college student and your girl, you'd be like, "Okay, yeah, I'll go on a date with you because I'm hungry."
Yeah.
But fortunately,
yeah, and
it was a good date.
I really liked it because Red Lobster in school is kind of out there.
Yeah, it was high class back then.
Kind of expensive, but she was worth it. So.
He ordered a giant piece of fish and then just sat there and talked the entire time. And then didn't even make eye contact. He was looking off to the side like talking.
Well, I had other interests. I wasn't really hungry at the moment, so
a giant piece of fish.
She was very nice looking. She held a very nice conversation. I got to talk to her, got to know her a little bit, the things she liked, where she was from, get kind of familiar with her family. Her family was very nice, very religious people. So everything kind of meshed. We had kind of similar beliefs when it comes to that. And so after the restaurant was starting to wind down, it was getting a little bit late. She was scoping my fish out, of course.
A whole piece of fish? You just left it on the plate and you just talked the whole time.
Yeah, so I was having fun.
I couldn't get a word in edgewise.
But after that, I was telling them about, actually while we was having conversations, I was like, I like this one movie. It's fun. You know what I'm saying? It at the time, it was related to school.
Good Will Hunting.
Yeah, with Matt Damon and
you just want to give me back this place. Ain't that type of girl.
But it was a nice flick, so I thought it was a great date movie. So she was like, "All right, cool. I ain't never seen it." So we went back to my dorm and
under the pretenses of a movie.
Yeah, watched the movie, had a great time again, and as the night got older and started to wind down a little bit, she was like, "All right."
Later.
She was like, all right. We had a great time. I think it's about time for me to get back to my apartment. And so, of course, I was a little bit hesitant, but being a respectable gentleman, I was like, yes, yes. And so I drove her back to.
I had to escape.
Don't believe that. But yeah, I took her back to the apartment. Everything went well. And the very next day, surprisingly, I think I called her back and asked her what she was doing and would she like to come hang out again. And pretty much from there, the rest is history. We went out on the second date. She came, hung out again at the crib, and that was pretty much it. And now you got us. We've been married for a long time. We got 4 kids now. Various businesses together, different things. So we just look forward to our future together with our kids and family.
Right. So, when you're African American and you say true love or marriage, it can't happen or not. It does happen, but it does take a lot of work. Because just like kids, he need training. And I need training as a wife just to learn how to, how to service whatever your mate needs, or you know what I mean? And that goes for both people.
Yeah, so sometimes you never know where you're going to meet your husband or wife. It could be just by happenstance. You could be at the laundromat, the bookstore, church, anywhere. But just always be open to the blessing that comes your way, whether it's your husband or your wife, and just be receptive and be loving. And we really appreciate y'all this evening for joining us. Like we say, we're going to be doing more videos in the future. We are really happy to be doing this. And anything you got to add, that's it? Black love. Peace.